Welcome back, fellas. Today we're back with another day in the MLB. We've been cooking as of recently in the MLB. We obviously are back for our weekday lives. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe while you're here. If you're new, welcome. Tone, how's the weekend treat you?
Pretty good. Pretty good day of baseball yesterday. Mackenzie Gore, the fucking strikeout goat, dude.
I saw that, dude.
A good time. Overall, good weekend. Excited to keep it rolling throughout the entire week and the rest of the season, of course.
Love that. Love that. Let's keep it moving here. We have a few games to get through. So we'll waste no time and hop straight into these. Starting with the Dodgers and the Marlins is our first game. Every game is at 6:40 Eastern time or later today. So if you're wondering why there's no afternoon games, that's why. Every game is starting at 6:40 or later on the East Coast. Dodgers and Marlins are going to be the first one up. Dodgers are minus 196 over 9.5, plus 182 for the Marlins. Money line is going to be with obviously the Dodgers, spread to the Dodgers. Totals on the over. Sandy is on the mound, as well as the popular market play is the Dodgers' first 5 money line at minus 160. That is nuts, but that's the most popular play. So what do you got for today? Anything for this game?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I feel like the best angle is just to fade Sandy once again. I mean, we did this like 5 days ago. Not a whole lot has changed. The Dodgers are going to probably start Ha-Seong Kim instead of Tommy Edman this time around, which obviously not a substitution I would prefer when fading Sandy, but I still think there's some good value in really anything you want to take, whether it's over hits, over earned runs, over walks. I think the one I like best is under strikeouts, which looks like you can get minus 105 for under 4.5 strikeouts with Sandy. Yeah, just not a whole lot of good in Sandy's profile this year. I think a lot of people could have seen this coming off of Tommy John surgery, but, getting no chase, whiff rate is, average 51st percentile, but K percentage 13th percentile, and it's the Dodgers, so he's probably not going to make it too far into this one.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to take it now at 4.5. I would love it, though, if they somehow got Ha-Seong Kim out of their lineup.
Yeah, I'm taking
I don't know who else they replaced him with, though.
I'm taking Sandy over earned run, so I'm on the same wavelength as you, just fading him pretty much at all costs. I like under K's as much as I like anything else this game. It really is just take anything, and you should be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I like you too. Minus 125. Definitely don't think it's bad.
No. So we should be in a pretty good spot there. I got it on DK. Where are you seeing under K's is the best? Let me look. Under K's.
I think it's BetMGM at 105. Minus 105.
So I'm seeing BetMGM minus 105. Make sure ESPN bet. Yeah, minus 115. Yeah. I'm seeing BetMGM minus 105. So if you want to take Sandy under K's and go that route, you can definitely do that as well there for some good value. Yeah, outside of just fading the fuck out of Sandy, I don't have too much for this, but we can keep it.
We can keep it simple with this one.
Yep. Don't need to get too fancy there. We do have Cleveland. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Before I go any further, can we talk about the White Sox? Huh? Cash?
Dude,
no? 5 for 5?
The dogs of the day?
The dogs of the day? 5 for 5 in our last 5?
Dude, I think it's more than that because this weekend.
You did dogs this weekend?
Saturday,
I didn't peep.
Well, this Saturday, you were MIA, but Saturday we went with the Rays, who beat the Yankees at like plus 185. And then yesterday, the Royals weren't that deep of dogs. They were only plus 115, but they beat the Orioles. So, dog of the day is kind of
cooking right now with grease fire on the dogs of the day. It
definitely is cooking. I just don't want to get too ahead of ourselves because looking through the dogs today, it's not tough. A whole lot that I like. But
no, I looked at it earlier today too, and I was like not very optimistic about some. But we'll keep it pushing nonetheless. Guardians and Nationals, -113 for the Guardians, +106 for the Nationals. Over under 8.5 and under 9. Money lines with Cleveland, spreads with Cleveland. Totals on the under for this one. Luis Ortiz and Jake Irvin are on the mound, and the popular play of the day is Luis Ortiz over 4.5 Ks. Where are you at for this one, and what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't hate that take, Luis Ortiz, to get 5 today. I feel like I've bet on him in his strikeout props a couple times this year. Whenever he didn't hit it is when I've taken it, and kind of hard to really know what you're gonna get. Dude has great strikeout stuff, but is can be all over the place in terms of his command. So definitely got some good upside there. Nats, looking at the Nats strikeouts real quick. I mean, I don't hate it. There's some dudes in there who are, very low strikeout percentage guys. Luis Garcia, Ruiz, going to be tough outs. Jacob Young, but the other guys in there, I could definitely see Ortiz getting to. I think that might actually be the angle I like best. I don't feel any particular way about the total. I guess I would go over 8.5 -120 seems like a pretty accurate line, though.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm
not a big fan of Jake Irving. Feel like
no, neither am I.
If I'm not mistaken, his last outing was pretty rough.
Yeah, I'm looking at his numbers now as we're just going through it, and not much to really. Oh, why my fucking props just?
I mean, it
crashed?
was Philly, but he
what
let
the hell?
Let up 6 runs in 6 innings.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
and his metrics
Irvin,
are just bad.
Yeah. He got hot for, 2 or 3 starts, but, not a dude that I normally want to back.
60 percentile case. I mean, swing strike percentage, 28 percentile. Just nothing really crazy on that front either. So, not a lot to harp on here. I don't have anything as a lockety-lock for this game. So we can keep it pushing here outside of the leans. Padres and the Yankees at the 7:05 slot. Padres +135, Yankees -140. Over under 7.5, under 8. Money lines with the Yanks, spreads with the Padres. Totals on the under. Pivetta and Rodon are on the mound. And the popular play of the day is the Nerfy.
I mean, I like it. 2 really good pitchers going at it, and it is Yankee Stadium, unfortunately. I feel like the weather's going to go against them. Would be an amazing pitchup matchup if this was in San Diego. Rodon, we've been cooking with the over strikeouts. He's been one of our guys. Between him, Mackenzie Gore, Zach Wheeler, whenever he gets up the pitch, it's just we're riding his over strikeouts. But now he gets the Padres, which might be the toughest matchup for strikeouts in the league. Jackson Merrill also should be making a return to the lineup today, so gets a little bit tougher there. I like I said, I want to go Rodon strikeouts, but I don't think there's a ton of value on it. Looks like -142 for 6 strikeouts. That's pretty expensive. You can get +152 for 7 strikeouts, but that is also a very tall ask to get 7 strikeouts against the Padres.
How many times has Rodon gone 7? I'm looking now.
I feel like he's gone.
At least 7. His last, and almost every start this year, 7, 5, 8, 8, 9, 8, 7.
Yeah, he's been a monster with the strikeouts. If it was literally anyone else but the Padres, I think there's a good chance I would be taking his over strikeouts. It's just probably the toughest matchup, like I said. But Nick Pivetta, another guy who's been cooking, now taking on the Yankees. He's coming off a 9 strikeout game against the Giants. I think there's a little bit of value in the Pivetta strikeout category.
You think so?
6.5, tall number, but you can get, I think, +108 over at Caesars. So definitely don't hate that.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I don't hate that either.
The under does feel like a pretty good play too as well. Probably want to check up on the weather again. Maybe wait till closer to game time.
Yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to.
It just says steady rain will likely postpone Monday's game. So this game may not even happen. But,
Fucking awesome.
Normally if it's wet, you're going to see less strikeouts from a pitcher. So that would be something to keep in mind. But
Devin says he likes the New York money line. Brother, it's like minus 150.
Is it really?
For the Yanks? Yeah.
Wow.
It's
That's actually
minus
kinda
150 on BetMGM, minus 154 on FanDuel.
Damn. Dude, honestly, I mean, like, Padres, dogs of the day. Padres on the road.
Padres on the road against Rodon.
Don't hate it.
Yeah, no, I don't hate either. I kind of want to take Rodon at that plus money spot for 7. I get it's the Padres, but they've been striking out they're dead middle in strikeouts versus left-handed pitchers in the past 15 games this season. Like they're 15.
Yeah.
And
I don't hate it. I just think that like
yeah, it's just not a high value.
Plus 150. It looks like 125 at DK, 125 ESPN. I wouldn't do 152 is definitely more interesting. I think that's like I think like where it should be is probably in between those numbers somewhere. Like plus, I don't know if it's like a whole bunch of value. It's just like I think it's an acceptable bet if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's all right. I think I'm gonna stay away from Rodon strikeouts. The one thing I will take is at minus 130. I got it at where is it? Aaron Judge over 1.5 HR. I think it's minus 135 now, but I got it at 130. Judge obviously is going over this 9 of his last 10. He's fucking insanely hot right now with the bat, batting 423 overall, an impressive 407 average, specifically versus right-handed pitchers. Pavetta holding righties to just a 234 batting average. But Judge obviously has a strong record against him, batting 278 with a 333 ISO, and a 443 weighted on base, a weighted on base average. So Judge obviously has hit this in 79% of games this season, obviously, so he's been very consistent. We're getting pretty good value here in a good matchup. I feel really good about this spot. So, yeah, no, I like that play a lot. So it's a little bit juicy, but I think there's good value on it if this game even happens. So,
all right, Dan.
All right, we can keep it pushing. Reds and Braves, plus 132 for the Reds, minus 142 for the Braves, plus 1.5. Well, I don't know why I said that for both sides, but over 8.5, under 8.5. Cincinnati. Oh, what the hell? Atlanta is the money line. Spread is with Atlanta. Total is on the over. Damn, I'm so colorblind. I had to look at the percentages here because I can't see the difference there. Holy shit. All right. AJ, ASS is on the mound. Yep. Is on the mound for the Braves, and Brady Singer is on the mound for the Reds in this matchup. And the popular market play is AJ to go over 4.5 strikeouts for a juicy value. And what's ironic is the second most favorite play is him to go over 7.5 Ks for plus 630.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think that is good value. Do I think it actually happens? No, probably not. But I think you could take worse bets for plus 630. Yeah, I mean, I think AJ Smith-Shawver strikeouts is a good way to approach the game. Like, that's kind of all he's actually good at is just getting a ton of swing and miss, gets dude to swing outside of the strike zone, 70th percentile K rate. Definitely gets hit around a lot. Was coming off a great start against the Rockies. Ended a little short because he got hit with a comebacker. So I'm assuming he's healthy. There's no lingering injury there. Yeah, I mean, Brady Singer, I'm always super sketched out about. I know he's performing really well, but not a dude that I normally like backing just because he lets up a ton of fly balls, a ton of hard hits. But yeah, I mean, he's performing. He's working around it. So, I don't necessarily dislike Singer. Yeah, and in terms of the money line, I don't think I have a real lean. I think plus 130 for the Reds is pretty accurate. Don't hate them as dogs, I guess.
Yeah, no, I don't either. It's interesting looking at it from a like prop standpoint and whatnot. The ladder that people are doing with AJ. I see. I mean, he's had 7 Ks against Tampa, but that's Tampa. Miami had 6. Colorado, he only had 5. And now he's in a tougher matchup.
Well,
I feel
Colorado
like.
only had 5 because I think he only
Yeah,
made
he only pitched 59 pitches.
Yeah. Like he
So
got pulled early due to injury, but
yeah, but he was cooking, so I understand it. But
yeah, I think the Reds are like an average strikeout team. Like I don't think there's any real advantage when you look at the lineup. So
interesting.
yeah, I don't hate Schauber having a good strikeout day.
Yeah, we can still keep it moving on that front. I don't have any plays for this game, so I'm kind of just riding with you here. Then we have your San Francisco Giants versus the Chicago Cubs. Giants are plus 150. Cubs are minus 155. Over under 7.5. Money lines with the Cubs. Spread is with the Cubs. Totals on the over. Boyd and Roop are on the mounds. Popular market play is Matthew Boyd over 5.5 Ks tonight at minus 112 on FanDuel. Where are you at for this one, Stain?
Yeah, I guess I don't necessarily hate the K prop for Matthew Boyd. Giants are not a great team against lefties. And Boyd has been having a good season, for the most part. Kind of got roughed up last outing, but I think he's pitching very fine. He's a very kind of stable starter in my mind at this point. So I think it makes a lot of sense to take his over Ks. Landon Roop, on the other hand, things really just aren't going his way. I swear he's pitching better than what the outcome is. Dude gives up a lot of hits on contact that is probably low probability to actually be a hit. But there's other parts of his game that he's not doing well. Dude is walking a ton of batters. So against the Cubs lineup, don't have a lot of faith that Roop's going to have an amazing outing. But I think he could find a way just kind of through a decent amount of strikeouts and ground balls. So I actually took the under of 7.5 in this one, mostly because the Giants, again, struggle against lefties. And I think the weather report is showing that we're going to have breezes blowing in from left field, reduce home run chances in that direction. So kind of think this is going to be a weather under here. So that's what I have, under 7.5.
Yeah, no, I like the under a lot. That's where I was leaning as well for this game. So I'm happy we're on the same page there. You kind of said literally everything I was going to say for it. I got it at minus 110.
I did too.
That's
FanDuel.
Yeah, that's the best spot from everything I've seen. That was the best spot earlier. So it looks like it really hasn't moved. So you can get it at minus 110 for under 7.5. We're both on that play. Yeah, no, I love the spot. So we can keep pushing. I don't have anything outside of that. So just under 7.5 there for the game total. White Sox and Royals, what we have next, our beloved White Sox for cashing us out on Friday. Plus 215 here versus the Royals, minus 212. On Kansas City side, over 7.5 is the total there. Money line is with Kansas City, spreads with Kansas City, totals on the under. Reagans and Shane Smith are on the mound, with a popular market play being Cole Reagans over 9.5 Ks for plus 475 is the top market play. These are crazy.
Yeah, it's Cole Reagans. I want to take Shane Smith, who's been pitching really well in the White Sox, as a dog, but it's tough going up against Cole Reagans, obviously. I don't have any bets for this one yet. I do kind of like the over of 7.5. Even with that said, Reagans on the mound and Shane Smith being so good this year, but Reagans is coming off an injury, so who really knows how sharp he'll look in this one. White Sox, I feel have been swinging a decent bat too. Not that I would say that I don't trust them against Cole Reagans for sure, but Royals are coming off a series where they're swinging it really well, so maybe they can get to Shane Smith, whose underlying metrics aren't great, even though his outcomes have been. So don't feel great about it, but I think 7.5 might be a little low for this game.
Yeah, no, I agree. Minus 115 is the best odds I'm seeing if you want to take the over there on ESPN Bets. Shout out, they still are blocking my plays, so that's fucking dope. but that's the best odds. So if you want to take that there. Outside of that, again, I agree. The Shane Smith stuff's tempting on the surface, at least from like what I'm looking at. But I can't fade Cole. I just can't mentally do it.
Yeah, Shane Smith, like,
I also want to take
surface
the ladder,
numbers,
dude. Like my gut wants me to take the ladder of K's. Like it's so.
I'd be interested to see how much the White Sox against lefties. Where do they rank in strikeouts?
The last 15 games, they're ranked 28th.
Okay, that's last 15. Just on this season, they're 20th in terms of. So they're not striking out a whole bunch against lefties.
But it's Cole Reagans.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate a Cole Reagans call. I think, again, like, I think it's similar to Rodon, where I don't think it's like bad value. I just think it's like kind of priced how it should be.
Yeah, fair enough.
So,
all right, let's keep.
I think there's better plays. I think I was just looking at the weather though. It does kind of feel like an under weather, so maybe that's why it's a little low.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well, Astros and Brewers going to be our next game at 7:40. First pitch, -104 for the Astros, -106 for the Brewers. So we're dead even game. Over under 8.5. You can get that. Money lines with Houston. Spreads with Houston. Totals on the under. Blanco and Myers are on the mound. Popular market play is going to be Milwaukee money line. Where are you at for this game?
So I need to look deeper into it because I don't know what the hell Tobias Myers is going to do. The guy got pulled super early in his last outing against the White Sox. I think it's due to the fact that he's coming off an injury. He had like 30-something pitches in like the second or third inning. And so he got the hook. And I think that was mostly to avoid a re-injury to him because that's kind of where you see those happen is when you have so many pitches in one single inning.
Yeah.
But then he also came in for relief against the Cubs when they were getting smacked around. So I have no idea how long Tobias Myers is going to go for. Based on his props, it feels like they're expecting him to not go very far in this game because his earned run line is only at 1.5, and it's like -118 to go over. It was actually -110 when I was looking at it on the subway, so is getting more expensive. But like his hit line is 3.5. So his outline, what's his outline right now? I actually don't even see an outline for him.
I don't either. I have none.
So it looks like we don't know how long Tobias Myers is actually going to go, but I think taking over 1.5 earned runs is interesting because I just think I actually have no idea. This is totally guessing, but I think he's going to pitch like a decent 4 or 5 innings. Maybe not though, because again, he just came in for relief on like 3 days ago. So maybe he's going to just be used as like an opener now. One
of the top plays is Tobias Myers over -120, over 1.5 earned runs, -120 on BetMGM. So you'd be going with the market. Market probably agrees with you. Yeah, so that's fair enough. I think everyone's kind of anticipating him to go a little bit deeper in this game as well. Again,
yeah, it just feels weird because you wouldn't have like brought him out from the bullpen if you expected him or like if you wanted him to go like 5+ innings, you know?
Yeah, no, 100%.
But like if he does, he's definitely going over like all of his run hit lines, you know? Yeah. Probably even strikeouts, even though I don't like him, even though this is like a tough matchup for strikeouts and he's like at best very average pitcher. Well, I guess it's set at 4.5. So I don't know why his run line and hit line is set so low, but yet his strikeouts are like set as if it's a normal game for him. So
yeah,
who the fuck knows what's going on with Tobias Myers? Fucking give me the Astros. I don't care.
Yeah, fucking Astros. We'll take them all day, every day. How you down? And then we'll head to the Pirates and Cardinals game next. Pirates +1. Where's Jesse? I'm waiting for the comment of Pirates money line. He's in here. Pirates are +120.
You know he's in here.
Cardinals, he just said something a little bit earlier. -127 for the Cards. Over under 8.5. Money lines with Pitt. Spreads with Pitt. Totals on the under. Carmen's on the mound with Miles, and the popular market play is St. Louis moneyline at -127. Also tied with the over, so 8.5 over.
Okay.
Feels
I
like
was
a
gonna
decent
say
spot.
I think my favorite play in this one is the over, but I don't necessarily hate Pirates as dogs here. Yeah,
Really?
I don't think it's like a.
Shout out Jesse. Pirates
It's
easy
not
win.
enough.
There it
Like
is.
plus 120 is definitely not enough for the Pirates. I wish it was more like plus, obviously like 130, 140 or whatever. But if we had to pick a dog, I think Pirates probably have like the most value on him. Simply because like Miles Michaelis, his floor is so low. He's a dude who obviously like pitches to contact, tries to get ground balls, but oftentimes those things can just like compound on itself, and then he's susceptible to go like 4 innings, let up 6 runs, in which case like the Pirates have a great chance of winning this one, obviously. So yeah, it's 2 bad pitchers going at it, so obviously over 8.5 feels pretty good. And then plus 120 might be a little too much against the Pirates.
Yeah, no, I like the Pirates a lot here. Jesse has, okay, hold on. How do you say that fucking pitcher's name again? Go
Baczynski.
ahead. Baczynski. Dude, I'll never, like, looking at it, I'll never get that out of that.
Yeah.
LODZ. Yeah,
There's
no, I'm cooked. Like, I'll look at that name for the next 10 years and never be able to pronounce it. Baczynski over 3.5/4.5 is great value. No Pirates bias here either. This is
over
game.
What, strikeouts?
I think so, yeah. Let me see what he's
Really?
looking at. He said
There's no way he's talking
3.5/4.5.
strikeouts.
I don't know.
For
What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Jesse? What's your line?
He's going to take Baczynski plus 235 for over 4.5 strikeouts. I don't think the Cardinals are a team that strike out that much.
I don't think they are either.
Let me see this real quick. Against righties this year, Cardinals rank 26th. They're striking out 19% of the time against righties. So not a good matchup for strikeouts. Baczynski also not a dude who's even getting that many strikeouts this year, only at 18% himself. So you're talking earned runs.
He said strikeouts.
No fucking shot, dude.
Hey, he hasn't been off that much with the Pirates. There's like 3 times he said take Pirates money line. It's cashed. So we'll see.
There's maybe a dozen different bets in this game alone. I'd probably take.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't take it either. But hey, he said no Pirates
we'll take Pirates
bias
to win though. You know what, Jesse? I'll take Pirates money line. You know, that's as far as I'm going with it though.
All right, fair enough. Dog of the day, Pirates. We'll get to it. Mets and Diamondbacks are next. Mets are plus 104, Diamondbacks minus 112 over 9.5. Money line is dead split. Spread is dead split. Totals on the over. Griffin Canning strikeouts. Rain Nelson strikeout. Why am I saying strikeouts? They're pitching. And then the popular market play is Griffin Canning under 4.5 Ks. Minus 155 though, so it's a lot of juice, but that's the popular market play for today.
Yeah, and this one I'm feeling the over. I like full game over. The first 5 is kind of interesting. It's set at 5.5. You can get that at like plus 10, basically even odds. And then for the full game, it's close to even odds too for 9.5. Obviously, it's tall line, but Griffin Canning, I think he's all right. Very average pitcher, but obviously D-backs lineup, tough matchup. And then on the other side, we got Ryan Nelson, who making his first start this year, has a couple appearances out of the bullpen, hasn't been great. He's 5.82 ERA, really high ERA but low WHIP. So, I don't know how he's going to fare for a full game against the Mets. Doesn't feel like he's going to come out of this with a great box score. So, yeah, kind of going over here.
All right. I like the spot here. I'm looking at batting props right now, and I'm trying to find someone I like. I feel like this is a game I would want to attack, but
Ryan Nelson's underlying metrics this year actually don't look horrible.
Really?
No, they don't look great either. But they're he's kind of all over the place. But I would say it's like an average profile. But again, this is just 7 appearances coming out of a bullpen. Where you go back to last year when he was starting, it's a lot worse.
Yeah, 100%. I like lean Ketel Marte 1.5 HRR -125 you can get at, or -118 even. Bet MGM. Right-handed pitchers, he bets 353 against so far this season. And Griffin Canning gives up a 250 batting average to right-handed batters, and obviously Ketel's a switch hitter. And a pretty good ISO from the right side of the plate as well. Could be an interesting play, and he's definitely due. He has the due factor. He's gone under this in 4 of his last 4 games. Before that, he was crushing baseballs, hitting this in 4 of his last 5 games. So he's definitely due to get the bat hot again. So I kind of like that play a lot, actually.
Yeah, Marte makes me a little scared just because obviously coming back from injury, hasn't
100%.
looked great, but could tell Marte at any point he's gonna like turn it back on.
Yeah, no, 100%. He's fucking goated. All right, we can keep it pushing though. We do have our last game, Mariners and A's. We all know we love watching the A's. Plus 100, you can get there, -105, excuse me, for their money line. -112 for the Mariners, over under 8.5. Money lines with Seattle at 92%. Spreads with the Athletics at 92%. What the fuck is that? And then the total is on the under. Player props, where is it? Severino and Bryce Miller on the mound, but the player props are going to be Severino under 4.5 Ks. It's the most popular line. So,
yeah,
for this
Severino at this point of his career, just not a big strikeout guy, but I'm surprised people are with the under because, I mean, we're in Sacramento for this one, and it's funny because we got these 2 pitchers who I feel like have massive home away splits, and I just pulled up the numbers because I'm like, Bryce Miller on the road does not feel good. Luis Severino at home also does not feel good. And we're talking about Sevy at home with a 5.11 ERA in 4 games, and Bryce Miller on the road in 3 games with a 4.8 ERA. So Bryce Miller's been struggling away from Seattle. Severino's been struggling in Sacramento. Yeah. Also, the Mariners, I feel kind of out of nowhere, but they can fucking hit now. Maybe not so much at home, but like I feel like they've been crushing right-handed pitching on the road at least. So like it almost feels a little trappy taking over 8.5. I totally get that, but I'm surprised that like people are all on the under for this one.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit trappy. I'm not seeing any stats that are like super popping out that Seattle's crushing baseballs, but it definitely looks like they're playing better for sure against right-handed pitchers comparative to the full season. So
wait, hold on, let me pull something up. Okay, maybe like in last 2 weeks. Dude, I swear to God, they're fucking crushing.
Oh yeah, last 2 weeks, last 15 games, weighted runs created, they're number 1 against right-handed pitchers, and on base percentage
last
number
2
2.
Weeks, sorry, number 2 in what?
On base percentage.
Number 2 in on base percentage. Number 3 in slugging percentage against righties last 2 weeks.
Holy shit! Yeah, they're crushing baseballs. Hey, damn.
Also,
shout out the Mariners.
Yeah, they have huge home road splits too. Like the batter's eye in Seattle just fucks everyone up. So, Jorge Polanco's fucking cooking. Cal Raleigh's cooking. Julio Rodriguez obviously goated. So, the bottom half of their lineup is very unsexy and probably sucks. But the top half is fucking killing it. So I think from Rodriguez at 1 down to like Tellez at 5, I feel really good about. Crawford is whatever. Last 3 guys in their lineup is fucking tragic. But for the most part, like this is a pretty dangerous team, and I'm definitely taking the over for sure.
All right, I like to play a lot. I think it's a very solid spot. Plus, dude, I can't believe the Mariners are crushing baseballs like that.
I know. I actually think 8.5 is
I knew they were doing better. I know they were doing number 1 and number 2.
I think it's weirdly low because I think the A's games, for the most part, have been slightly adjusted to the over because of the ballpark. Like, I feel like we see a lot of 9.5s in their games.
We do.
So for this one to be 8.5, looking at a weather report, it says strong gusts blowing in from left field will limit home run chances significantly in that direction. So maybe weather is not on our side for this one.
Has to be or something.
But again, like, minor league ballpark.
Vegas always
two pitchers
knows.
that I feel like are going to get rocked. 2 good lineups. Yeah. Maybe I'll hold off, but the over is like really calling my name in this one.
All right. Well, if you guys want to see the finalized plays, make sure to join the Discord. It's absolutely free. That's where you can get all of our updated plays as soon as we place them. For the dog of the day, where are we going? What are we thinking? Where the head's at?
So we did just talk about the Pirates. I think there's decent to minimal value there. Wouldn't hate them as dog of the day.
Yep.
I think if we wanted to be a little more sane, I think the Padres are good dogs too. What's the best number they have?
130.
Plus 130. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Rodon's been cooking, but like Pivetta is having just as good a season as Rodon. And if we're talking about like limiting runs, like just overall pitching as a whole, like I think I trust Pivetta more than Rodon. Like, we've been cashing Rodon strikeouts, but damn, dude, I don't know.
Devin,
I say all that.
Pickett, by the way, if you're wondering what the site is. But yeah, so I think I'm leading Padres as well. I like the Pirates, but don't love the Pirates. I think the Padres have a really good spot here, plus 130. I feel really good about. You can get it.
We could.
Yeah. Sorry.
I was gonna say we could like wait for Merrill to get confirmed in the lineup and then have that be like the deciding factor if we go Padres or Pirates.
Yeah, we could do that.
But I actually don't care either way.
I think I'm going to lean Padres probably no matter what, but we can still wait and see. All right, so we'll go Padres play of the day. Make sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe. And let us know what you guys are taking in the comments below. Or to let us know in the Discord and drop something in there. Jesse's pissed we're not going with the Pirates.
All that just to be maybe we should go somewhere else.
Yeah, all right, we'll go Padres. Dog of the day. We're 5 for 5 in our past 5 or 7%, whatever it is. A big number we've been cashing. So let's continue that today. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.